state championship AA matchup. First, the visiting team from District 5 AA with a record of 13-1, the Iota Bulldogs. The home team from District 6 AA with a record of 13-1, the Port Barre Red Devils.
And we are underway in this 2A state championship game between Port Barre and Iota. And we'll see the Iota Bulldogs on offense first, going up against this Port Barre Red Devil team as they'll put it in play. First time in the state championship game, Renee, for both of these squads. What an exciting event this will be for these young men.
It really is, Gerald, and both teams that match up pretty well. Both sporting the same 13-1 record, and we'll talk about the offense of Iota after this play.
Off the right side for Iota, Jason Miller, the sophomore, 5'11", 185. Jason Miller there for the stop, and that's a quick pickup of 5 yards.
And Iota running on the right side. Jason Miller last week, a young sophomore, had 110 yards against West St. John in the semifinals to make it to the Superdome, and you'll hear a lot of his name, number 44, Jason Miller.
Come from behind win there for Iota over the defending state champs. Kyle Ritchie, quarterback, keeping the ball there. Edward Hickney with the stop, and we'll have our first third down conversion of the game.
Good look at Coach Rehberg from Iota. In fact, he coached, talked about it earlier, Buford Jordan, former New Orleans Saint. Of course, he don't have any kind of talent like that on this year's edition, but he's got some players.
He's got some heart, no doubt about it. Flag on the play as the sweep will come to the near side. The first down will be there, and some, as Dylan Navarre has run out of bounds. We'll read the flag. Motion against the Bulldogs. That'll push the District 5 runners up back, and they'll have to try the conversion again.
And you got to watch Navarre. He comes from that strong back, if you will. It's kind of like a reverse or wing back position. Had 205 yards last week. Very adept at ball handling is Ritchie. Hands it off to Navarre, and he's got that 4.45 speed. You can see he outraces the would-be tacklers. Henderson Keys tries to put a collar on him and gets in for a nice little pickup. It's going to come back, but shows you what kind of firepower he does possess, Gerald, and we'll see a lot more of Dylan Navarre. And 15.5 yards per carry in the playoffs.
Wow. Call it third down and 8, Renee. Ritchie on the keeper, nowhere to go. Met immediately by Jared Bazar and the rest of the Red Devil defense, and the Bulldogs will be forced to kick.
And you're talking about a team, good look right there at Maurice Saunier and number 21 and number 10, Marvin White, a freshman, does a pretty good job on defense. This team, this Port Barre defense, is one shutout, gave up only one touchdown to 8 other opponents, so they're very, very solid.
And the punt on the return, look out. And we've got a score in this ball game. How about that? Henderson Keys, the senior, gathers that ball in and brings it back.
And I tell you what, Gerald, he's got great speed. He's a 2-time all-district in the kick return specialty, so you have to be very aware of him at all times. He's got tremendous explosion, great speed, 4.6 in the 40, hit a lane, great blocking. Look, hit the creases. Ooh. And you can pick up some outstanding blocks, some red jerseys and laid a wall for Keys to get into the end zone to break the scoring drought here. And Port Barre's on top just that quickly.
The extra point for the Red Devils, true. And without running an offensive play, Port Barre takes a 7-0 lead over Iota. We've got 9 minutes and 40 seconds left here in this first quarter of play in this AA state championship game.
It'd be interesting to see what Iota comes back with their second possession here. And as you see Keys picking up some outstanding blocks in his punt return, Gerald, and again, a two-time all-district performer. Good block by Edward Pickney gave him the opportunity for the 5'10", 165-pound senior to virtually untouched into the end zone. And Port Barre is up 7-0 at the 9:40 mark. Here are the first stanza, Gerald.
Iota will have a second crack at it. The Bulldogs will have it. A pretty good return just inside of the 30-yard line. Zeke Guidry bringing that ball back up the field. And Kyle Ritchie and company checking back out.
Zeke Guidry Jr., in his enthusiasm, almost overran the wedge that was blocking for him as Kyle Ritchie comes back on the field. You know, he checks off about 25% of the time. Just a junior, but boy, I tell you what a great team leader he is. He was hurt against Welsh, missed some time. Trent Trahan came in, but Kyle Ritchie is the trigger man on this team.
See that full house backfield there, Renee. Neither of these teams will throw the ball a whole bunch tonight as Brett Hebert's rush straight into the line finds Marvin White after a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8. But not a lot of air to be put under the ball tonight.
No, and as Ritchie hands the ball off to Brett Hebert, big junior, 5'8", 160, he's 402 yards on the season. And Ritchie's also can hurt you with his legs. He's a good option quarterback, 4.6 speed. He can kill you a number of ways.
To the near side, Navarre. Look out, across the 45, just shy of midfield. And Renee, last time, Dylan Navarre had a rush. It was called back because of a penalty. You talked about his speed. We saw excellent decision-making that time as he was able to pick his holes and cut in and out and elude some would-be tacklers and pick up a nice gain.
Good look at Coach Perron right there. And boy, I tell you what, nice little run by Navarre, kind of got him out of the shadow of their end zone.
I don't have my tally. So
Iota. And not a big team, but great blocking angles. They run from that eye about 75% of the time. Some variations with some double wing and shotgun and such, but offsides here.
That last pickup, 18 yards.
Right here, this guy jumped. 31 jumped.
That'll be against Port Barre.
Offsides, defense, first down.
Looks like Mallet may have jumped a little prematurely as they'll get some instructions from the sidelines. Usually plays wingback on offense. And Iota, with their second possession here, gets into Port Barre territory right up about the 49-yard line. And both these teams can really light it up.
Well, this is what Iota needed after giving up the punt return. They needed a little momentum after going 3 and out on their first possession. Inside handoff. We'll find a couple of yards. Brett Hebert stopped on the play by Maurice Saunier. It'll be 2nd down.
The thing about this defense, good look right there at one of the combatants. You know, they do a little stunning, kind of throw you off a little bit. They'll run blitz. Since Iota's not going to pass too much, they won't have to worry about blitzing the quarterback too often. But they'll do a little run blitzing and do some stunning, fill some gaps, and make it tough. Take away some running lanes, which are really, really tough. Good defense.
Navarre to the outside, turns the speed on. Look out. Wow, he had an 18-yard pickup last time, and we'll check the yardage on that one as Daniel Francis in the secondary saves the touchdown, but We talked about his decision-making last time. This time it was just flat-out speed.
And speed really will kill you. As you can see, he bounces outside. Great vision. Look, finds a crease and hits it right here, Gerald. Nice move. And a freshman, Daniel Francis, horse collars him right here. And Daniel Francis, you're going to hear his name quite often. Just a freshman. Gerald, let me tell you, he's a starter. Daniel Francis, a starter on the varsity as a freshman. Last year in 8th grade, he was on the varsity relay team. What an athlete he is. 5'10", 150, 4'6", 40. He's got 4 interceptions on the campaign, just a freshman.
27-yard pickup that time for Navarre. To go along with his 18-yarder is Jason Miller. The tailback is hauled down by Saunier after a short pickup.
Maurice Saunier is inside linebacker. You'll see him come up and close right there. Nice tackle. Saunier has an offer from Northeast Louisiana. 3.3 grade point average, 22 in the ACT. He's the total package. He was the district MVP on defense. He covers a lot of area with that 4.65 speed.
Second and a ton. Ritchie keeps on the inside and looks like he'll get inside the 10 or real close to it. He should have a first down.
Gerald, they looked like they were in a run blitz move that time as they were filling some gaps and kind of flushed Ritchie outside. Right play called at the right time, picking up a first down and offering them the opportunity deep in scoring territory now down at the 10-yard line, and we'll see what Coach Barone comes up with now.
10-yard pickup there, Renee, and it'll be first and goal from the 10-yard line.
With Rehberg's offense running, doing a good job right now.
Handoff to the far side to Navarre, who was in motion, and the senior wingback was pulled down that time, once again by very active Maurice Saunier.
You know, I tell you who made that play work at the time, Dane Dupleshin. He played outside in. He squared his shoulders and was making sure that Navarre did not bounce it outside. He kept him kind of boxed in and let the pursuit catch him. So Dane Dupleshin did a good job inside linebacker Dane Dupleshin, who will move outside in some passing situations.
Fumble, look out. And Ritchie recovers. Kyle Ritchie may even pick up a yard on that play, but nonetheless it'll be third down. And Iota's only converted 1 field goal for the year, Renee. It was a 41-yarder. However, down here at the 7-yard line, they'll face a third and goal.
It's early in the game, 5 minutes left here in the first quarter, and Ritchie just jumps back on that loose pigskin. And third down and 7 yards to go. We'll see what the big junior, 6'1", Kyle Ritchie has in store for Fort Barre.
Ritchie to pass. Goes for the end zone. It's complete, but just shy. Just shy of the pylon. Coming up with that ball is J.B. Harp. And that's a trick. That's a wrinkle there for Iota. You talk about a team that's only completed 21 passes for the year. That's like a good quarter for Brock Berlin and Evangel.
Well, Ritchie's got 256 yards. Rolling out right here. Not an easy throw to make. Had to throw it right at the right spot for Harp to pull it in. Plays tight end. Boy, I tell you what, he is a big tight end. Split side as a wide receiver at times. 6 feet, 215. He is a load.
A rushing team in a rushing situation. Touchdown for Iota. Jason Miller brings it into the end zone, and the Bulldogs are on the scoreboard for the first time here this evening in this AA state final. They're an extra point from tying this one up with 4:34 left.
He had quite an entourage escorting him into the end zone with J.B. Harp and Brett Hebert. Brett Hebert in front of Jason Miller, giving him the escort, making sure he broke the plane. Power eye right and giving it to Jason Miller, running through a crease into the end zone. Extra point upcoming.
And the extra point is blocked. Henderson Keys comes through and blocks Kyle Ritchie's extra point. And Port Barre will maintain their 1-point advantage with 4:34 left here in the first quarter.
As they come flushing in through the middle, Gerald, he may have taken a couple of quick, choppy steps, may have delayed a little bit, gave him the defense some opportunity to get through. But We have a 7-6 game, 4:34 to go, and looks like quite a evenly matched up between two teams, 13-1 records early in the going here. And I'll tell you what, both these teams certainly deserve to be here with the record they have.
You talk about that Port Barre record there, Renee. They lost in week 1 to Turlings, a 4-point loss to a Turlings club that made the semifinals in 3A. Lost a tough match to Carr here in New Orleans. Final count there was 10-7. Turlings could have ended up here in the Dome, which was Port Barre's only loss, and Iota losing in its final game to Welsh. Iota was on top at that point, ranked number 1 in the state, and Welsh. This game was for the district championship. Welsh won it convincingly, but Iota gets the last laugh. They make it here to the finals as the Greyhounds could not make it. Short kickoff, and Keys on the return. The man who blocks the extra point puts Port Barre in a good position. Of course, Port Barre and Iota in here for the first time reminds me a little bit of that Welsh-Coshada game back here. I know it's a game you did on radio. That had to be about 1951, I think.
Yeah, it was about 1951, Gerald. I was 21 years old at the time, and just finished voting for Theodore Roosevelt. And I appreciate you pointing that out.
We'll get our first look at the Port Barre offense under the direction of quarterback Greg Bing. Bing options out. What a massive hit on him. And C.J. Millay, the running back, the wing back, not much better for him, as he'll pick up about 4. But what a vicious hit that time on Bing. Watch it here.
And Bing skirts left. Boy, I tell you what, they unloaded on him. Didn't catch the number. And, wow, he paid for it. Skirting left side. That was Maurice Saunier with the ball. And with that wing T option, they do a good job with Barre.
Bing to the near side. He'll crack the 50-yard line and be dropped short of the first down marker. Zeke Guidry there to help on the stop.
One guy you got to be very cognizant of where he is in the Iota front is Cody DeVille, a big 6'3", 235 defensive tackle. Boy, he'll lay some hits on you as you see Bing skirting around the right side. He'll be a big-time recruit next season with that 4.5 speed. Boy, I tell you what, 800 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns, makes some great decisions. And I tell you, Gerald, he is an option quarterback, but he's got some moves of a fine running back.
3rd and a long 2. Bing options out. Caught in the backfield. Fumbles the ball. Look out. Iota says they have it. Let's see, and they do. Turnover with Iota coming up with it.
A lot of enthusiasm from Joe Zonbrecker, who really spun him around and maybe caused that fumble. And if that is true, the Bulldogs are going to get another opportunity. Watch Zonbrecker. Just a fake dive to Roban, pitch outside. Kind of a poorly pitched ball, give him an opportunity for Zonbrecker to make the play here and pop it loose. And Zonbrecker jumps on a Johnny on the spot. And now the Bulldogs are once again in good field position at the 48-yard line.
Dustin Lacombe causing that fumble for Iota. Handoff to the first back through. Dylan Navarre. And they'll unstack slowly after a tough yard on the inside.
Iota looking to jump on an opportunity here as we close down on the opening moments of the first quarter.
Good look at one of the Red Devil players there, Renee. A number of them have dyed their hair blonde for this game. I've heard of shaving your head, but this is a unique stance. Dye your hair blonde. I like it.
I wish I had enough hair to dye blonde.
With a flag down on the play, Navarre comes to the near side. We'll unravel this flag. It'll be motion against the Bulldogs, so this will come back.
You know, to show you how powerful Navarre is, he gained 1,091 yards, averaged 14.6 yards per carry, 11 touchdowns. And guess what? Missed 5 games this year. What an outstanding season he had this year. Dylan Navarre. And
Illegal motion on the offense. Second down.
Navarre, senior season, has done an outstanding job. One of the main reasons why the Bulldogs are here in the Super Bowl.
And it'll be second down and 14, just inside of 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Navarre to the near side, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but not much more. And it'll be a 3rd and long situation, and this is a disadvantage for a non-passing team as Edward Hickney comes up to make the stop.
You know, that handoff, Richie does such an outstanding job with the ball that really freezes that defense and kind of guys get you stopped for just a moment. That wing tee is just a tough offense to defend against, and Port Barre's doing a pretty good job thus far. Richie just turning on his heels. Good fake right there. Belly dodge to Jason Miller, handing off, coming around the left side to Dylan Navarre for a short pickup.
Richie on the pass, picked off. Look out, this one may be coming back the other way. Lawrence Laban into the end zone for the touchdown. 2 big plays by the Red Devils have equaled 2 touchdowns. Check that, Renee, that was Marvin White on that interception return for the score.
And I know one thing, Richie wishes he had that one back again. And Marvin White made him pay for it. Guess what? Marvin White, just a freshman outside linebacker, usually a blitzer in the defense they have. Was a free safety early on. Great athlete, and will be a super senior, 6'1", 165, 4.6 speed or better. And boy, he just ran away from the intended receiver. Can't catch up with him, and young freshman gets quite a thrill as he puts Port Barre up 13-6 here in the first quarter.
49-yard interception return for that score. Extra point, up and true for Mike Corville. 1:01 left here in the first quarter. 14-6.
Boy, some happy Red Devils here in the stands.
You're watching this AA state championship here at the Gatorade Superdome Classic. Well, 2 big plays there, Renee, by Port Barre has given them the lead in this contest. 14-6. Special teams and defense. Very high kickoff will come down to Iota. And Jason Miller will return it just outside of the 30-yard line. Well, if you're Iota, you know you can drive the ball. So that's what you want to do, get a little control of this. As your defense has done the job, as Port Barre has only scored on special teams and through the interception return.
Well, Iota just wish they had one pass they could call back. The interception probably wishes he wouldn't have thrown it, of course. You could say that about any interception, but he just didn't look, and White was there waiting in the wings, waiting for the pass, and anticipated, and so that was an easy give me.
Pitch to the near side. Very tough running for Miller. He'll get across the 35 up to the 36-yard line.
You know, Miller's been down the road before, just a sophomore, but he was a freshman starter. 850 yards last year, so he's been down this road once before. He's really got a great stride, a kind of a bull in between tackles. Tough to bring down at 180 pounds. And his dad was a state champ in the discus and javelin. He does pretty good himself. 143 feet in the discus, 187 in the javelin.
There he goes again, straight up the middle. He'll be just short of a first down as the first quarter comes to a close. Maurice Saunier on the stop.
Good look right there, Jason Miller, as we do close down on the first quarter.
We've played one quarter of football here in this 2A state championship matchup. Fort Barre with the 14-6 lead over Iota here at the Gatorade Superdome Classic.
They got the wrong score.
That score is 14-6 right now,
Yes, it is.
and not 7-6. As we've had a lot of excitement and a lot of experience on the sidelines. Renee, of course, Rick Rehberg for Iota in his 25th year, and Donnie Perrone for Port Barre, the head coach, in his 22nd year. So you're talking about a ton of experience there for each of these guys, and those are the teams that you like to see to make it to the Dome. Guys to spend that amount of time coaching to get a reward like this and be able to come in and play it on the turf in front of the crowd and have all the marbles on the line for one game.
Well, you know, you don't get here by mistake, and both those guys have earned the opportunity to be here. You don't get that opportunity very often, and Port Barre is right now seizing that opportunity with a 14-6 lead. But Iota has shown they can move the ball, good defense, so both these teams will be evenly matched throughout this contest.
3rd and short. Look out, first down and more across the 50-yard line goes Miller. And the chains will move. Well, it's one thing that Iota has proven early on in this game they can do, Renee, and that is the short yardage situation. They scored the touchdown quite easily down the other way on 4th down, and here they pick up a key 3rd down conversion on 3rd and short.
And that was a good run by Jason Miller, cutting it against the grain of a right tackle. And they use that power brand football. Good blocking up front, as good block by Felix Hebert, and the offensive warriors in that trench did a good job opening a hole for Jason Miller.
Counter coming back to the far side, and not much running room that time for Dylan Navarre. And Andrew Roban there for the stop.
Andrew Roban, a district MVP on offense, does a good job from his fullback position and from linebacker spot for Port Barre. 6'2", 220. Boy, he is a load. He's being looked at by quite a few schools, Northeast, Northwest Louisiana, McNeese, and USL as a fullback, kind of an all-stock kind of fullback, and does a good job as well from his defensive position.
Pitch back. Struggling forward, getting down maybe to the 47-yard line is Jason Miller. Guess who? Maurice Saunier there once again. This kid Saunier, this senior, very active around the ball.
Well, you know, he's the district MVP on defense and a leading tackler with 180 stops, and he got some help from Marvin White, who came crashing in from the outside and forcing the run back inside for Saunier to make the stop. But, boy, he does a great job, and we mentioned you can't fool a very cerebral guy with a 3.3 GPA, 22 ACT. Good look at him right there.
6'2", 205. Good size kid as well. Motion early by Iota, and this one will be blown dead as the end on the far side, released early. That'll cost them 5, so the 3rd down conversion will be somewhat daunting. Well, if you're looking to keep this game on time, Renee,
offense, 3rd down.
You couldn't ask for any more. 2 teams that keep it on the ground will certainly keep the clock running. That probably makes for quick Friday nights in both Iota and Port Barre.
Well, you know, both teams have a ways to go, and maybe spending the evening here, but there are other games coming following this, and everything right now counts in this game. It's for all the marbles in 2A in the state of Louisiana.
Ritchie wants to pass. Incomplete down the field. Intended on a play for J.B. Harp. C.J. Millay down there to cause the havoc.
Millay came up and really laid the hit on Harp. Harp's a big fellow, about 6 feet, 215. Ritchie dropping back, trying to hit him, and he dropped the ball before Malay came with the hit, but Hart 350 bench, 525 squat. Jose set the school record in leg press with 950 pounds. Well, I'll tell you, you don't want to give this guy one-on-one in the open field. He'll bury you.
Miller for the punt. It's turned into a touchdown for the Red Devils. Last opportunity. Barely gets it off, and it's a high, excellent kick. That'll take a big Port Barre bounce. And look at that, stopped just short of the goal line. Excellent play that time by Dylan Navarre, who waited for that ball to come down and then accelerated on it, and Port Barre will have a long way to go after a 52-yard punt, about 99 yards and 3/4.
I was going to say the same. He's a sniffle away from the goal, and
I wasn't going to say
he's
that.
got a long way to go. And as Henderson Keys just watches it go, and hopefully go to the end zone, and Dylan Navarre downed it right where in the optimum spot. Just ideal. Wow, his shoe was dangerously close to that goal. Any contact, and that ball comes out.
Everybody except the ball is in the end zone for the Red Devils. Andrew Roban from the fullback spot grinds out a couple.
And you know, Roban, he's got a powerful way about him. We talked about it. He looks a little bit like an all-star. He'll carry people with him. 1,400 yards this season. MVP on the district MVP, and he does a good job. Caught a touchdown pass against Christian Life last week, and I'll tell you what, he is not only a good ball carrier, but a good blocker as well, Joe.
Second down. Roban this time over the left side. And Port Barre just trying to get a little breathing room here to move out the shadow of their own goalpost.
Good wall up front. You see James LeBlanc. Dustin Thibodeau also up front, right guard. The main guy up front for Port Barre is Justin Edge, a 6'1", 245-pound right tackle, Louisiana Tech. Nichols in Northwest Louisiana are all looking at his services. And he is a team leader, all district, last couple of years.
3rd and 6. Bing on the right-hand side. He'll be close to the first down, but shy. Port Barre will be first to punt for the first time.
Bing swings it out the outside. You know, we mentioned he runs like a running back. He was a wide receiver back in 1998, so he knows what to do when he's got the ball tucked under his arm. He can throw it too, so be aware of that the Red Devils may put it up in the air before too long.
Iota ought to come out of this one with pretty good field position. Is Roban on the punt. It'll be gathered in by Dustin Boudreau, and he'll bring it back up the field, and it'll be 1st and 10.
And Dustin Boudreau usually mans the strong safety position on defense. Returns punts, does a pretty good job of it. Gave the Bulldogs a pretty good field position here as we begin the second quarter, 7:16 to go. And Port Barre with a 14-6 lead, and interesting to see what the Bulldogs can muster on offense this series.
Ritchie hands off, big hole, look out. Miller straight ahead, down to almost the 30-yard line.
Nice blocking up front by Poussin Broussard and Felix Hebert on the right side, giving him the opportunity. Wade Lacombe also at right guard, giving the opportunity to skirt up the field. You know, Port Barre with 8 men in the box. Once he breaks that initial charge, Miller is on his own and made the Red Devils pay dearly for playing that type of defense, not respecting the pass. Once you get out in the open, it's Katie bar the door.
Pitch. Miller again to the outside. Met briskly that time. Lawrence Leben there for the stop. and it'll be second down.
LeBang comes up from the left cornerback position and made a fine open field tackle right here around the top. That's the way you bring Miller down. LeBang 4.65 40. Does a pretty good job in the classroom as well with a 20 ACT and a 3.3 grade point average. Does a good job of coming up. Always makes some big plays and made a big one just now.
Ritchie on the keeper will be dropped short of the first down marker. Henderson Keys there for the stop.
It looked like Ritchie was just hesitant to turn on the afterburners and try to skirt around the left side. He was probably thinking cutting back and didn't get a chance to get as much yards. So he just hesitated for a second as Roban is hot in pursuit. And Henderson Keys makes the stop on him from his cornerback position, short of a first down. Third and about 3 yards to go, and the Bulldogs need this first right here.
Miller inside the 20. He'll have the first down and more. That's power running at its best.
Boy, he broke a tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and he could have been stopped shy of the line of scrimmage and got past that initial hit. Got into the secondary right here. A near tackle. That was Jared Bazar. And Miller does pick up the first down. Young sophomore is doing an outstanding job. He runs through those tacklers, a good strider, a good power move. He's going to be a good one before he leaves Iota.
First down. Inside handoff to Abear. And he'll break the 15-yard line.
You know, Port Barre this year pitched a shutout and gave up 1 touchdown to 8 different opponents, so they're not used to being scored on very often. This is about their average what they're giving up to Iota right now.
The Red Devils, Renee, outscoring their opponents 328 to 95 in the regular season, and it's a 124 to 52 advantage in the playoffs. Of course, the regular season 10 games, the playoffs up until this point 4 games. It's a 5-game set that you must play to win a state championship.
Good look at right there at Jason Miller on the Superdome carpet. Fast track tonight, so those 4.5s will become 4.4s.
Yeah, that's the new.
The Red Devils would like to talk about it as they take a timeout. Come to the sideline. They lead this one 14-6, but with 4:02 left here in the first half, Iota is threatening. You're watching the AA Gatorade Superdome Classic.
If a butterfly flaps its wings in Kansas and a tidal wave rises in the Pacific Ocean, what happens when I do this? Are you feeling that?
DMX technology, performance you can feel. Are you feeling it?
Third down, Renee, 3rd and 4, just outside the 10. Navarre with the carry, stopped in the backfield and dropped. Andrew Roban is there.
Roban and Bing collaborate to make the stop on Navarre and corral that speedster before he gets going. Roban shooting in from his linebacker position and really does a good job of slowing him down, and Bing with the assist.
And with a pivotal 4th down coming, we'll have another stoppage in play as the teams will inspect their options. And Renee, if you're Iota, you'd like to punch it into the end zone before halftime, and with a possible 2-point conversion, you can draw near on this one and take solace in the fact that your defense has kept the Port Barre offense out of the end zone.
You know, I tell you before, Port Barre is not used to being scored on, and so they kind of dig their heels in the red zone, and Iota's going to have to earn this touchdown. You're looking at about a 2-point conversion. They have to earn this touchdown.
It'll be an interesting play call here on 4th and 6, as we've mentioned several occasions, as you look at the Port Barre brain trust there, deciding how to defend this next play. Neither of these teams passing teams, so it'll be interesting to see how this play develops. It'll be, even as a power running football team, it's hard to dissect a running play that'll gain 6 yards on 4th down.
You know, it's hard to imagine without the services of Kyle Ritchie. This sometime is hurt against Welsh, and that they arrived where they did. But Trent Trahan came in and did a good job, a senior backup quarterback, and you know, everybody has to pitch in for the team to make it this far in the season.
He's looking Harp's way. He'll go to the end zone. Touchdown. Wow. Outstanding. Dustin Boudreau with the touchdown reception on 4th down.
Nice throw by Kyle Ritchie, and as Boudreau found a crease in the end zone, and Ritchie just zeroed in on him, threw it on a rope. Nice throw from the senior Ritchie to the senior Dustin Boudreau. Great protection up front. Felix Hebert with a nice block for him as Ritchie steps up in the pocket, unloads, and Boudreau kind of runs underneath it, and I'm sure they'll go for 2-point conversion, which they will.
And they'll also take a timeout to discuss it. An important 2-point conversion that could knot this one up at 14.
As you can see, right, once again, Ritchie dropping back. He gets hit as he releases, but delivers the goods.
2-point Red Devil lead here in this AA state championship game.
Supposed to eat Pete's hot stuffed crust pizza?
Bill doesn't get it. Backwards, Bill. The other way. Backwards, Bill. Backwards. That boy. Now bite it. Billy. Bite it, Billy.
Jill's not afraid to eat her stuffed crust backwards. Everybody knows how to eat stuffed crust pizza backwards. With a ring of cheese baked right into the crust, it's the most fun you can have with a pizza. A large one topping is $9.99. Jill's made of tougher stuff than Bill.
Take a bite, Billy. Backwards, Bill. Keep your chin up, Bill.
Stuffed crust, another one of the best pizzas under one.
14-12.
And the all-important 2-point conversion. Ritchie calls for the ball. He'll keep it and waltz into the end zone. Good decision there on the option. Faked it into the line, and that play was stopped cold, but Ritchie rolls it in to tie this game up.
Well-designed play, and Ritchie ran it to the tee. Did a good job of skirting the right side for the 2-point conversion. This game is all knotted up, and Port Barre gives up something they don't give up very often, a second touchdown in the contest. And of course, Iota is no average, ordinary team as well. So you got two teams that are pretty evenly matched, and the score indicates just so here with 3:37 to go here. Good ball faking and good blocking on the corner. Navarre with a good seal block allows Ritchie to get outside. Cornerback playing close press, anticipating what could be a pass, and you have to respect that. A nice run by Ritchie. He's excited.
That's a good play that works too after 14 weeks of working together.
Ritchie's going to be a good one next year. He's coming back for his senior season, got some good size, 6'1", 180. I'm sure he'll get some overtures from some colleges for his services. He's a basketball guard, baseball shortstop, quarter miler in track, so he's sweating a lot, I tell you. He don't stop too often.
Look out, that's a live ball. And that's a loose ball, and that ball's in the end zone. It's going to be Iota's ball. Wow! Well, we've seen a special teams play work in favor of Port Barre, and this one works in favor of Iota. That can take a mountainside of momentum into the locker room. If they can punch this one into the end zone, it'll be 1st and goal at the 1.
As we see Armand Lede, as Jason Miller, who does just about everything, kicks off.
Nice knuckleball kick. That's part of the problem here.
Port Barre just can't hold it as Daniel Francis, the freshman, couldn't figure out where it was going. Kind of tough catch to make. Francis compounds, but wow, what a collision there as Kyle Ritchie, the initial shot didn't bring him down. He bounced it outside. I think that initial shot was Maurice Saunier. As you can see, Daniel Francis, just a young freshman, trying to pick it up, and his teammate, don't know if he helped him or hindered his opportunity to pick it up, as Henderson Keys drops back to try to help him. And Port Barre finds themselves deep in their own territory. 3:05 to go before the halftime break. And Iota is banging on the door for that 3rd score of the game.
Armand Ledette with that fumble recovery. 2nd down and goal. Into the end zone for the score. Jason Miller, the sophomore, gives the Bulldogs their first lead of this AA state championship contest.
Really impressed with Jason Miller in the right side of the line. Good seal block, good block right there. Good lead block by Brett Hebert allows Jason Miller to get into the end zone. Breaks that plane, and boy, I tell you, outstanding blocking up front. Good offensive line surge. Gave the chance, and the extra point coming will give Iota a 7-point advantage if it's true.
Ritchie's kick, it's good. So with 2:52 left, bang, just like that, Iota picks up a couple of touchdowns, and instead of trailing by 7 going into halftime, they lead by 7, 21-14, as there's a flag after this play.
Well, you know, they gave them away. Ritchie threw that interception that was returned for a touchdown, so I guess Port Barre was returning the favor on that kickoff return and gave Iota an opportunity, as Coach Rehberg is not real happy about this. Something is disturbed about with a 7-point advantage.
Personal foul call there against Iota, Renee.
Well, he's not too happy about that as he waits for an explanation.
No, they come out on the field already.
Official Bob Taylor. And here's the kickoff return as freshman Daniel Francis is assisted by Henderson Keys. Neither one could come up with it. And coming up with it is Lede. And here's the run by Jason Miller. Good run right there. Good blocking up front. And put his head down, follows those shoulder pads, knows how to run. Good body lean. He's going to be a good one.
Well, a lot of folks from Acadiana here in this one. As these two teams just a short 45-minute drive from each other. Not in the same district. One in District 6, Port Barre, and Iota in District 5. Both finishing the regular season at 13-1. And now Iota, Renee, will suffer the fate of kicking off deep in its own territory after the personal foul. And we saw what good field position could do for the Bulldogs. That was part of the reason they were able to pick up a couple of touchdowns. We'll see if Port Barre can come up with good field position. As Bing is dropped after an 8-yard kickoff return. Joe Zombracher there.
Joe Zombracher was the first to make contact, and he slowed him down and allowed the white-jerseyed Bulldogs to make the stop. Good look right there at Joe Zombracher. As Bing, no stranger to advancing the ball since he's a quarterback, makes contact right there with Zombracher and cleaning up for the Bulldogs, Ricky DeVille.
Andrew Roban straight through. Get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be 2nd down, and Red Devils have 2 timeouts with which to work if they so choose. As we approach the 2-minute mark.
Good look at Coach Perone right there. and its staff. You know, the offense of Port Barre with 400 yards rushing against Christian Life. So I wouldn't put anything past them. They certainly have the firepower to score points.
Roban again. Port Barre looks content to run the clock out here. They're going to have to pick up a first down or two to do it. So we're just clicking inside of 2 minutes.
Roban is alone at 6'2", 220, and boy, he unloads in the middle as contact is made with the middle linebacker after a short gain. 3rd and 3, Gerald, coming up for the Red Devils.
And Iota's got the momentum right now, Renee. You don't want to give it back to him with time on the clock. His flags will stop this play before it's able to develop.
Iota runs that 40 or 50 front. They do some run blitzing a little bit, and can kind of confuse you a little bit. And
Dead ball.
maybe some
Equipment. Offense. 3rd down.
It's illegal equipment to call against Port Barre. Somebody probably didn't have a mouthpiece in. That's unfortunate at any time, but especially in week 15.
Well, you know, it also pushes you back 5 yards. 3rd and 3 is one thing. 3rd and 8 is a totally different approach, especially from your own 40-yard line.
Bing flares the ball out. It's complete. Look out. They've got some running room. The first down and then some. Henderson Keys with that reception, and the Red Devils are now in business.
A little flanker screen as Henderson wings it out and gathers in the pass from Greg Bing. And boy, he can really skirt up the side. 4.6 40. He knows what to do with it. Good blocking as Keys. Look, he cuts on a dime here. Good body control for the 5'10", 165-pound senior. Had he broken that tackle, he may have been gone. Nice pickup by Henderson Keys.
Bing looking for Keys again, overthrows him, and Port Barre lost about 17 seconds there, as they could have used one of their timeouts. They have 2, but elected not to, and now we've got 53 seconds left here in the 2nd quarter.
Bing was rolling right, looking for that out pattern to Keys once again, and a little too tall for him, as you mentioned, stopping the clock. 2nd and 10 inside the 40-yard line of the 39, and the red-clad Devils are going to be back in the shotgun.
Bing wants to keep it. Will call his own number. Will find nothing but white and maroon on the inside. Joe Zombreaker there to lead the charge. Who else? Now, excuse me there, Renee. Port Barre will take a timeout to talk about it on 3rd and long.
You know, Zombreaker's made a couple of good plays, and you can see why. He's a sprinter on the track team and really gets upfield quickly.
It's a 7-point advantage for the Bulldogs here at the AA Gatorade Superdome Classic.
Is there an underdog in you? Is there a stubborn fool in you? Is there a screaming child in you? Is there a crazed lunatic in you? Gatorade, is it in you?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the screen, you'll see the T-shirt for the Gatorade Classic being modeled. That's the official Gatorade Superdome Classic T-shirt.
Third down and long. Bing drops back, feels the pressure, rushed out of the backfield and dropped. Well, the first 2 missed him, but the third man got him.
Wade Lacombe with the stop. 84 tackles on the season, and Bing just sprinted out with a 4.5 speed. Ran away from Cody DeVille just couldn't escape. Ran away from another would-be tackler, but just could not get away from Wade DeVille. No,
It'll be fourth down
Wade
when
McComb.
It'll be fourth down when we return. Fourth down. Bing rolls, looks to throw, and he'll be sacked. Well, Renee, let's hope you get his name right this time. Wade Lacombe with the stop.
Wade Lacombe, and credit also the coverage with that sack as Bing did not have time to set up and fling. But as he rolls to the left.
How long did it take you to come up with that?
Bing could come up with a fling. Wade Lacombe puts the brakes on Bing, and it'll be a 4th and 13 with just 22 ticks to go here.
It'll be first down, actually, going the other way.
1st and 10. I'm
Gee whiz, man, that cold medication you're taking is really taking effect, huh? A couple of swigs of that cough syrup, man, I can't take you anywhere.
Wow.
Navarre rolling on the outside. Right at midfield, drop down. That could be the last play here. Nope, looks like Iota would like to charge their last timeout, and why not? Take another shot at it. We've seen stranger things happen in this Superdome on last-second plays, and you never know what might transpire. If you've got a trick play, here's where you want to use it, huh?
Well, 21-point lead, 21 to 14, 7-point advantage here. You don't want to get too crazy. You know, it's just the waning moments of the first half. Don't know the reason for the timeout, but I'm sure they're gonna try to get
another shot at the end zone. With 12 seconds left, plenty of time to run one, maybe two plays, depending on what you run for that first play. And I'm sure by this point, the butterfly is out of both teams, as it was very prevalent in the first quarter, I'm sure.
Well, both teams, really, this is a new experience to them, the Superdome, the massive size, and also the game. Of course, the game is the main thing here, that the winner goes home with the state title. And so, yes, it's settled down now, and butterflies are gone, and now it's just sit back and play football. Pin your earbacks and go.
Handoff straight up the middle, and that'll be how this first half ends. With a 21-14 Iota advantage over Port Barre. Will actually stop the clock as they picked up a first down there. There's 6 seconds left. Iota's lining up. They're going to snap the ball one more time, and they will. And they'll down it. They want to run another play, Renee.
But they're going to air it out here, I'm quite certain. And Richie has some arm strength. And he'll probably air it out. You can look for Navarre to be in this play. You know, could do a little quick pitch to Jason Miller, as we see 3 ticks on the clock right there. But Navarre with that 4.45 speed, 10,700 meters. He can bust it open. So I'm sure Kyle Ritchie will probably dial number 14, but don't think the Red Devils aren't aware of that.
Yeah.
One lone receiver split out at the bottom of the screen, and Ritchie's looking his way, a jump ball, and that'll be intercepted. Henderson Keys comes down with it, and that'll end the first half. Well, special teams have played a large factor in this first half. So has the defense. And the Bulldogs are on top of the Red Devils by 7 in this Double-A state championship matchup.